it's Sequence Play, and we're back with another video. What are we doing today?
So yesterday, a big day happened.
Hey,
Election day.
hey, day of days.
It was a very, very big day
It was a very big day.
for South Africans. But it came with its own problems.
Yeah.
Let's just check out this clip first, and then you tell me what you think about it.
Thank you very much, South Africa, for turning out in your numbers to cast your vote in these historic elections. We are happy that you showed up and you are so determined. We have noted the frustrations that you have been subjected to, and they want to demoralize you and frustrate you by not providing an efficient service. Do not get tired. The youth of South Africa, you came out in your numbers. This is your future. We are only going to do it just today, and we secure a future for the next 5 years. Don't go home. Stay on the queues. The IEC is not allowed to turn anyone away who's at the queue. I know some of you waited for more than 7 hours. Some of you waited for more than 10 hours. But that's what happens. When a good thing is about to come out, it goes through a very painful process. Do not get discouraged, the youth of South Africa. Remain on the queues like me. I'm still at the stations making sure that no single voter is turned away, irrespective of which political party they vote for. We have to make this democracy work for us and work for the future. Stay in there. The ground forces of the EFF, the all forces of Mulungi's Madontela Battalion, make sure to galvanize the youth, to agitate, to razzmatazz, and ensure that the youth remains warm and well-fed while they are waiting to cast their votes. I'm with you and will be with the last voter who will never sleep until the last voter on the queue has voted. This is the time for land, for jobs, and to stop load shedding. You'll stop load shedding by standing on the queue tonight and ensure that your vote stop load shedding forever. Your vote brings jobs, your vote brings land. We say to South Africa, thank you, and thank you again for showing them that 2024 is our 1994. And we can only do that by not being discouraged on the queues. They're frustrating you to discourage you. The IEC has never failed to run elections. All of a sudden, they look like they don't know what they are doing, with a deliberate intention to discourage you, and so that all of you can leave the queue and go home. Don't be scared. Don't be discouraged. Victory is certain. I thank you.
So what are your thoughts on all
Oh,
of that?
wow. That is actually a beautiful speech, to be honest. If I was in the line, I'd actually be very motivated to stay within the line. But like what he's saying, like, is so true. Firstly, I also didn't understand like the sudden incompetence of the IAC. Like, you know, it was just weird, you know, like it was a very weird, and I feel like it's the last thing we all expected. The most we were expecting is rigging of votes and whatever.
So for me, this perfectly represents where we are as a country. This perfectly represents the government
Oh yes.
that we have. The government that we have has shown that anything that has to do with them does not work properly.
Yes, absolutely.
Go to Home Affairs, go to Traffic Department, go to Labor Department, go to any government department.
Absolutely.
At scale, at a large scale, things just do not work.
Yes.
Things take time, things are very slow. You spend a whole day in that department. Same now with the IEC. The IEC has been defunded for the past couple of years. The past couple of years, they've been gradually being defunded by the government. I don't know why the government decided to defund the IEC, probably to loot, but we don't know. But most probably to loot. And these are the results of it. Now the IEC cannot run elections at scale anymore. Now they're struggling to
Everything struggles.
to process data. Like this is the thing with the ANC government as it is right now. Things have deteriorated so bad that you can even notice when you have to vote that things are not working.
The things are not working.
Like, what more do people need to see
That's crazy.
to understand that this government is not good? What more do people need to see?
Well, clearly they need to see more, because even like judging from how things are going so far, Like, there's a lot of people who didn't learn their lesson, and it seems like a lot of people didn't get the memo. I don't know.
For me, this was perfect. This perfectly illustrated that this is where we are as a country.
Like,
If you
nothing
want-
is advancing. No technology, bruh. Like, people are crying. Like, certain things, I get it. Maybe they could have said we're trying to keep things like this so that, you know, it can really be a fair election, because that's reach people who don't understand technology. I don't know. They've said all of those things. But, like, there are certain things that I feel like technology could have assisted in, you know, and a more advanced type of technology could have assisted
They
in.
didn't have enough of it. Again, it's like I said, they had the scanners and stuff like that. Most of the time they were down, or they weren't enough. Each station only had one scanner
How could that be?
because they're defunded. So the IEC in itself did not have enough resources to conduct this
is
election
bad.
properly. It's either they were anticipating a low voter turnout, or
They worked with whatever they had.
they just worked with whatever they had. They worked to maximum capacity, and this is the best they could do given the funding that they had. So it could be a combination of both.
So they need to be honest about that to people. The people at least deserve to know that bit.
Well, it would be slandering the government if they said they weren't resourced enough. But yeah. So the main issue is a lot of people had to wait hours and hours and hours, all the way up until this very morning
Yeah.
to cast their vote from yesterday. So if you left the queue after 9, they possibly would have rejected you from voting.
Yes.
So you had to stay in the queue.
The queue from 9 o'clock, you had to stay like all the way through. Whether you had a jacket, you had eaten, you had not, you just had to stay in that queue to fight for your right. And I'm honestly proud of the people that actually did do that, you know, and they just hung in there and they stayed, because those are people who truly want the change, I feel like.
Yeah, I'd just like to congratulate
Yes.
South Africans. Like, South Africans really showed up yesterday.
Oh my goodness, the turnout was even more than ice, which is like this. It was crazy. I don't think anybody, not the government, not anybody, nobody expected how things, you know, turned out.
I was one of those.
Students,
I was one of those who disliked the youth, because I generally thought that the youth was just good for groove. They were just good for drinking alcohol and just groove. You know? But yesterday they showed out.
Oh no,
Yesterday they came through. They understood
They
the
were
mandate.
about it. They didn't surrender. They were like, we're staying here.
And even though they were discouraged from voting, they stayed until they casted their vote. So another thing that people pointed out is that a lot of these voting stations that were very slow to attend voters were student voting stations in universities,
of which they know very well are not ANC votes majority.
So people pointed out that there could be some sabotage there, because a lot of people know that student universities is EFF stronghold. A lot of EFF members come from universities. So another thing that I actually like seeing as well is that in a time of crisis, well, not crisis, but in a time of frustration and difficulty, leaders come out.
Yes.
Leaders show themselves. Leaders avail themselves
Absolutely
to the people, and Julius seemed to do that.
Julius definitely did
better
that.
than anybody else.
Absolutely, we saw the EFF a lot on the ground, like especially in those, you know, in those hours where people were hungry, they were, you know, tired, and it was horrible. And they came out, they gave them food, they gave them coffee, you know, to encourage them to stay in there, and they were literally with them. And I can't really say the same for a lot, you know, of leaders, but
like Julius stayed at the voting station to ensure that everything,
yes,
to ensure that everybody who wanted to vote
absolutely
voted. He made a statement. He put it out on social media. He encouraged people
that is
to
admirable.
vote. He mobilized his people to assist to voters, get them food. You know, Julius really showed his leadership.
Like we saw they were visible.
Yeah,
they were definitely
he showed
visible.
his leadership skills.
Yes.
In a time where people were frustrated.
Yeah.
He showed up, and I was happy to see that. I was like, actually, I don't mind.
You know,
I don't mind if he was president.
Like when you can be like tap into your human side and know like shame the people are probably feeling like this, you put yourself in their shoes. That empathy is something you can't buy. I'm sorry, like you can't buy it. Either you have it or you don't have it. And I feel like it's a very important trait in somebody who wants to be a leader. You have to be able to have empathy and be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. And for me, that was a strong demonstration of that. Others, they were like, if it, I cast my vote, I was comfortable. They went right into the comfort of their homes, warm, ate their suppers, and they just wanted to see how things turn out.
So the EFF did really well in mobilizing the youth. I think the youth actually understood how important election day is, and this is perfect for the youth, because if the youth can actually show how powerful their vote is, political parties will not ignore them.
Yes.
Political parties will understand that, okay,
Yes.
in order for us to maintain power or to gain power, we need the votes
to
of
please
the
the
youth.
youth. We need to make sure they are happy.
Before the ANC was neglecting the youth because they knew the youth does not vote.
Did not vote. Now things have turned. Things have changed.
Now we'll see how powerful the youth's vote is. Will it shift the election in any way?
Yeah.
If it does, then political parties will take note of that, and they will try to cater to the youth.
Yes.
So just by this action alone, expect to see political parties targeting the youth's problems, like unemployment and education and stuff like that. Expect to see that in the next 5 years, which is great. I think the turnout for the youth was great. I was really happy to see that people, even though in the face of difficulty, they stayed it through.
Yeah.
They wanted to cast their votes, and to me, I was very happy to see that. All in all,
That was I.
the election day, I think, went very well. People came out in numbers.
Yes.
People understood the assignment, except the Eastern Cape, of course. Eastern Cape, very disappointing so far. The results that we've seen this morning, ANC is dominating there. But elsewhere, people came out.
Shame on you, Eastern Cape.
People voted for change, and so we're gonna see how the results unfold over the next couple of days.
Absolutely.
We'll try to keep you informed, but I'm very happy at how these elections played out. Not too much craziness went on. Just the IEC wasn't capable of handling the number of voters that came out.
Yep.
But other than that, everything kind of went smoothly.
Absolutely.
This was a very good election.
It really was.
People are invested. People want change.
Yes, I felt the butterflies in my stomach when I was going to cast my vote, and that for me was it just showed me that this was
You just saw a lot of things that you just saw society as it
yes
was. Like I said, Julius showed what kind of leader he is. He showed that he cares for the people that he's trying to lead. And then you saw the opposite, like Peggy Cled. Did you see that part of Peggy Cled?
No.
Peggy Cled skipped the queue. He came in, he skipped the queue, he voted. People were complaining like, how you can't skip the queue.
And Julius was standing for 3 hours apparently.
Julius stood with the people in the
yes.
queue. Peggy Cled, he just came in, he skipped the queue, he went in. People were saying you can't skip the queue, and he's like, oh, okay. But he still went in anyway, and then he casted his vote and he left.
Arrogance.
So you see what's okay. You see what kind of leaders we have right now, and you see the kind of leaders that we are looking into voting into power.
Absolutely.
So all those dynamics played out, and it was nice to see that voting was the coolest thing you could do that day.
Yeah.
That's how the youth made it special.
Absolutely.
The youth just. I was expecting the youth to be like, by a certain time, everybody's going to groove, everybody's drinking.
No.
It's a public holiday.
No. People were like, no, we're gonna stay here.
But the youth stood 10 toes down.
Absolutely.
And they wanted to cast their vote.
Absolutely.
And you could just see on your group chat, you could see on social media, like, all people were talking about was voting. That's it. No event that was happening.
No, nobody cared
about alcohol specials or whatever. Just voting. And it just shows that as a country, if we come together, we can make things happen.
Amen.
So hopefully in the next coming days, we see the results and we will see a change in our government.
Yes, I'm really praying. Like, yes, we can see some, results and stuff are coming in, but honestly, I still feel like we've got a long way to go, okay? And we will definitely see things changing in the next couple of hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to close it off, our voting experience went smoothly. Our voting station
Yeah.
didn't have that many people.
Well, I don't think we even stood in line, to be honest.
We
We
just
like
walked in.
wait, right?
We just walked in,
Yeah.
casted our votes, and left. You guys let us know how your voting experience was.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Was it frustrating for you? Let us know like what happened during your voting station, because we saw a whole lot of stuff happening.
And do you think that we should maintain this thing of people having to vote where they were registered, even in the coming elections? Or
I think they
be a
made
little
it
bit
that
of
way.
a flexibility?
They made it that way because of the regional ballots. So you don't want somebody from KZN voting.
Yeah,
regional
and it
in
doesn't even
Gauteng.
affect
Yeah,
them.
well,
Absolutely.
so they made it that way, I think, because of those ballots there.
No,
'Cause
that's
if it was only just a national ballot and provincial, then maybe you could have
you
voted
could vote
anywhere.
anywhere.
But
That's
because they
true.
added that regional ballot, then you had to be in the region that you registered in.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
maybe that's the main reason why
Yeah.
they changed that rule. But yeah, it was a very interesting day. It was a big day, and we're gonna see the results of it throughout the next couple of days, and probably see the final results on the weekend. Very exciting times. But yeah, you guys just let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.